And game two, NBA Finals, Denver Nuggets, Miami Heat is now in the books. Um, and I actually sort of almost forgot this game was on. Wow, like like that's how much interest it feels like a little bit across the board at the moment. I was much more like, oh, when's Golden State playing, and a Lakers getting eliminated, and so on and so forth in the earlier rounds. And I actually totally forgot about this game was actually on this morning. Woke up, made a phone call. My mate at the other end of the phone call said, "Oh, close game." I'm like, "Oh." Yeah, hell, I forgot. And look, end of the day, Miami got over the line, and I'm 3 wins away from getting my pick correct, isn't that right? So I guess, look, it's an interesting series right now, and I guess we can call this series right now, going back to Miami 1-1. Denver are going to have to, I would feel, get one of these 2 wins now, right? You'd hate to come back to Denver trailing the Heat that have done this to teams all playoff long, going back to Denver down 3-1. Okay, that would be a sort of a huge challenge for Denver then at that point. You'd suddenly feel the Heat have everything going their way. But look, 2 more games in Miami at the moment. And look, my cousin sent me a message a few days ago as well, talking about this series. And I said to him a little bit of, he sort of said, how do you stop, Jokic? And I sort of said, you don't. You make him shoot more. You stop everyone around him and you make him be a scorer that is not naturally sort of so inclined to be. Like he can definitely score 30, 40 points a game, but he's much more inclined to give out 10 assists and get his teammates going and so on and so forth. And that makes the Denver Nuggets such a dangerous team when that happens. And that's what's happened this game too, obviously, which obviously Jokic hit the 40-point mark. Everyone around him sort of really didn't shoot that much, didn't score that much. Jamal Murray had a real quiet game. And, Michael Porter Jr. has had a whole quiet series so far. Aaron Gordon didn't have the impact that he did, like the first game. And obviously Kevin Love was starting this game, so that sort of went bigger for the Heat. And look, I think the Heat are onto something here. I feel good that at the worst case scenario, maybe they split the games at Miami, come back to Denver. That's tied at 2 apiece.
Yeah, look, it's at least a series a lot earlier than we anticipated it to be a series. And I think a lot of people picked, Denver in 5 or 6 respectively. And, that can still hold true. This could be the outlier here. We're talking about a game that was decided by one shot that misses at the end. And, Denver maybe having a bit of a lax game. The philosophy that you're referencing with Jokic scoring so much, all three of their playoff losses this season with 40 plus points or more. It's an interesting stat where that is probably the game plan that you want. And it'll be interesting to see if Miami continues to let him have 40, 50 points and everyone else kind of struggles to get their rhythm going. Obviously, Miami have a really even spread, from their shooting woes in game one, where no one could hit a shot, to everyone hitting at least 10 points, really helped as well. But it is nice that it's a series because you're talking about a 1-8 matchup and you're talking about what was predicted to be quite a landslide. I think it's interesting that Denver, kind of walks into all of their matchups a little bit of an underdog, right? So were they really a good 1 seed? They had a lax end of the regular season. They were supposed to beat Minnesota, but then could Phoenix beat them? And then could the Lakers beat them? And, they have been doubted, but different than Miami. Miami's been doubted, and rightfully so, because they've been continually the underdog. But Denver's been doubted because they just haven't done it yet. And now they're in the finals and they are the heavy favorite. And maybe there's some subconscious pressure that comes along with that. Maybe, Miami is still playing with house money. Miami is allowed to get swept and it's still a success. It's wow, what an achievement. Well done on getting to the finals. You weren't supposed to win anyway. But they're playing with house money. And if they win, which they've already won on the road now, they have 3 more games at home. That's enough to close it out. But even if they don't close the games out at home, they've demonstrated the ability to win on the road. I don't know what the road record is, but it's got to be good. They've actually now, in all 4 rounds, won at least one of the games on the other person's home court. So they're a dangerous team. It will be interesting, to say the least. I'm not going to panic after 2 games, but they are heading down to Miami. That altitude's no longer a thing. Jokic doesn't strike me as a person who enjoys the club scene, so I don't think he's going to get caught up in that. But we saw remnants of this in game one. The end of the fourth quarter, there was a bit of a Miami run, and there was some different defensive schemes thrown at them that maybe that's carried over. And if you look at it now, the Miami Heat have actually won essentially 5 quarters, and Denver's really won about 3. So It'll be an interesting chess match. It's going to be a chess match. It may go longer than what I predicted, maybe Denver in six or Denver in seven, but exciting that we have a series already.
I almost felt for a second you were jump off the Nuggets bandwagon and you wanted to get on board the Heat one. But hey, look, I guess here's a quick thought just to wrap where we're at in this series. If the Heat were to be able to win this series, I was thinking this a few days ago. Surely this would be the greatest ring they've won so far. I
Yeah,
think that's something that it
yeah.
feels like really if we're watching some level of history unfold here, not only in the number 8 seed that's going to potentially win a championship, but this Heat lineup of Jimmy Butler, Bam, and I don't know who else is really there, sort of thing, compared to D Wade and Shaq and LeBron and D Wade and so on and so forth, that super team that was. This ring surely has to have so much more value to the Heat organization.
Well, it's not even just the Heat though, because then what you're venturing into territory is this the greatest championship run by an underdog or by a team that caught us by surprise? Dallas comes to mind very quickly, where they beat the Heat in the finals, but also take down, OKC at a young prime and, kind of finish off the Lakers and whatever runs that they were having going. So, it's a historic run for a couple of reasons. And it's a run that, no one would honestly tell you at the start of the playoffs, they're going all the way, right? Denver, a lot of people would say we can see them in the finals legitimately, but Miami never felt that way. And outside of the New York Knicks series, where I felt like they probably were the favorite or were equipped to actually beat the Knicks, they were not picked in any other series.
This is Two Guys with Spare Time. I'm Faz, this is Nick. You're probably a basketball fan like us, so hopefully you can throw us an assist in giving our video a like and subscribing to our channel.
And if you got thoughts, feelings, or even some suggestions, please put them down in the comment section below. And thank you for using your spare time to watch us in our spare time.